The planet Valira had always been a place of chaos. Its surface was scarred by battles, deep craters, and jagged metal wreckage that still smoldered from the last conflict. The sky burned with an orange haze, a mixture of pollution and the glow from distant factories of the alien empire. Humans had fought here for months, trying to resist the invasion of the technologically advanced Althari, who had conquered several nearby star systems. Among the human defenders, one name was spoken with respect and fear alike: Rebel Captain Alex. Alex was a man of courage and cunning, not because he sought glory, but because he believed in protecting his people. His team was small, elite, and fiercely loyal. Today they moved quietly through the ruined streets of Valira's once great capital. Shadows danced under the jagged buildings as Alex signaled his squad to halt. "They're close," he whispered. "Althari patrols are near. Stay sharp and remember speed and stealth." The team nodded. Among them was Kara, a young engineer whose knowledge of human and alien tech made her indispensable, and Rel, a sharpshooter with a keen eye and steady hand. They were ready for the mission: sabotage a supply depot that fed the Althari army. The team moved swiftly, avoiding patrols, ducking behind walls, and using the ruins as cover. Alex felt the tension in the air. He had been through many missions, but something about today felt different. The hum of alien drones above made him uneasy. Their sensors could detect a human team within seconds if they weren't careful. Suddenly, a bright beam of light shot across the street, narrowly missing Rel. He rolled to safety, firing a short burst from his plasma rifle.
"They're onto us!"
he shouted. Alex reacted instantly. "Split up. Stick to the plan." But the plan failed. The Althari were waiting, anticipating their moves. Alex's team fought fiercely, but overwhelming numbers surrounded them. In the chaos, Alex was thrown off balance by a sudden blast, and darkness claimed him. When he opened his eyes, he was no longer in the ruins. The air was cooler, cleaner, and the sky shimmered with strange colors he had never seen before. He was in a vast hall, lined with crystalline walls that reflected soft light. Floating platforms moved silently across the ceiling, and intricate symbols glowed faintly on the floor. Standing before him was a figure that seemed both alien and regal. Her skin was pale lavender, her eyes a brilliant amber that glowed softly in the light. Long hair like strands of liquid silver framed her face. She wore garments of deep blue and silver, adorned with patterns Alex couldn't decipher. The presence of the figure was commanding, yet there was an air of curiosity in her stance. "Welcome, human," she said, her voice smooth and melodic, yet carrying authority. "I am Princess Serana of the Althari Empire." Alex struggled to rise. "Who are you, really?" "Where am I?" "You are in my domain," Serana replied, circling him slowly. "And you are a very interesting human, brave, clever, and stubborn. Traits I do not often see in your kind." Alex's mind raced. He realized he was alone, outnumbered and inside the heart of the enemy's stronghold. He would have to rely on his wits, not just his strength. "I'm not here to entertain you, Princess," he said, keeping his tone steady. "I have a mission, and I will not betray my people." Serana's lips curved into a slight smile. "Ah, but that is what makes you so intriguing. You wear loyalty like armor, yet I can see a fire in your eyes. A fire that desires more than just survival." Alex froze. There was a teasing edge in her words, but he did not falter. "I serve my people, Princess." "Nothing more, is that so?" she murmured, stepping closer. "Even when temptation is placed before you? Even when everything you believe in is tested?" Alex felt a strange awareness, a pull he could not define. Serana's gaze seemed to reach inside him, analyzing his every thought, every fear, every desire. He hated that she could make him feel exposed without touching him. But he reminded himself, he was a leader, not a plaything. "Your words are clever," he said finally. "But I am not so easily swayed." Serana laughed softly, a sound that echoed through the crystalline hall. "Good, very good. Perhaps there is hope for humans yet." She gestured toward a platform that rose silently from the floor. "Come, I wish to show you something." Alex hesitated. He knew this could be a trap. Yet curiosity and the need to understand the enemy pushed him forward. He stepped onto the platform. Instantly it lifted, carrying him into a chamber filled with holographic maps, blinking lights, and floating data streams. It was a war room, a place where the Althari plotted their campaigns across multiple star systems. "Impressive," Alex said, his mind racing. "Your empire is vast. but perhaps too focused on power. Serana tilted her head. And yet here you stand, human, unafraid. Many of my soldiers would cower before you. That courage is rare. She moved closer, tilting her head to study him. Tell me, Alex, can a human resist when everything is offered? When loyalty is tested by desire? Alex tightened his jaw. I told you. I serve my people. No one else. Words are easy, Serana said softly. Actions are harder, and sometimes the heart does not follow the mind. Alex felt a shiver run down his spine. It was not fear. It was the awareness of the challenge she posed. This alien princess, beautiful, intelligent, and unrelenting, was testing him in ways no enemy could on the battlefield. She was studying him, teasing him, pushing him to reveal more than he intended. Why do you do this? Alex asked, keeping his tone steady. Why not execute me if I am so interesting? Because, Serana said, her voice gentle but firm, I wish to see the truth of humans, not the ones who hide behind weapons, not the ones who speak of loyalty, but the ones who act from their heart. You might surprise me. Alex's eyes narrowed. I do not play games, princess. And yet, she said, stepping closer, games are what teach us about ourselves. Will you falter under pressure or will you stand firm? Can loyalty survive desire? Alex looked around the chamber. It was beautiful, alien, and strangely hypnotic, yet his mind focused on the human lives depending on him. On the rebellion fighting against impossible odds. He could not allow himself to be distracted. I will not falter, he said firmly. You can test me all you like, but my mission will not change. I fight for my people, and I will never betray them. Serana's amber eyes gleamed. She stepped back and let out a soft, amused laugh. Bold, clever, brave, stubborn. Perhaps you are exactly what I hope to find. Humans may yet surprise the galaxy. Alex realized that her teasing was more than mere flirtation. It was a test. A challenge to his mind, his loyalty, and perhaps even his character. She was pushing him, trying to see if he would waver, if he would be tempted by her words or the promise of comfort and power. I am no one's prize, Alex said firmly, and no game will change that. Serana's smile widened, a mixture of admiration and mischief. We shall see, human. We shall see. At that moment, the doors to the chamber slid open silently, and a small team of Althari guards entered, their eyes fixed on Alex. Serana stepped back, her gaze still on him, her expression unreadable. Follow protocol, she said to the guards. Do nothing rash and human, she added, her voice softer. Remember that the choices you make here will echo far beyond this hall. Loyalty is tested in more ways than one. Alex was escorted into a holding area, still unsure of the princess's intentions. Despite the danger, he felt a strange sense of anticipation. This was no ordinary captivity. He was facing a challenge unlike any other, a battle of mind and heart, of loyalty and temptation. And he knew that to survive, he would need more than strength. He would need strategy, courage, and an unshakable sense of purpose. As he settled into the alien holding cell, he thought of his team, of Kara and Rel, and of the rebellion counting on him. He could not allow himself to be distracted, not by fear, not by desire, and certainly not by an alien princess who could see into the very depths of his soul. Yet, despite his resolve, Alex could not deny one thing. Serana's presence lingered in his thoughts, her teasing words echoing in his mind. And somewhere deep down he wondered, how far would this test go and what would it reveal about him? The war outside raged on, but within the crystalline walls of the Althari Palace, a different kind of battle had begun, a battle of wits, loyalty, and the unspoken tension between two very different beings. And Alex knew, without a doubt, that nothing about this encounter would be easy. The holding cell was not what Alex expected. It was spacious, with walls made of translucent material that glimmered faintly in the ambient light. There were no visible restraints, no signs of danger, at least not immediately. It was a test, he realized. Princess Serana did not need to chain him. She could test him in ways far subtler, far more dangerous. He paced the floor, his mind racing. His team would be looking for him, but the Althari were meticulous. Any attempt to escape now could cost him everything. And yet he felt an odd sense of anticipation. The princess had thrown down a challenge, and he was determined not to fail, not for himself, but for his people. A soft chime echoed in the room, and a holographic panel appeared before him. Symbols and diagrams shifted rapidly, displaying alien language he could barely decipher. Then words in common flashed. Solve the puzzle and you may proceed. Fail and your loyalty is questioned. Alex frowned. A puzzle? That's your test? He muttered. But even as he spoke, he recognized the danger. This was no ordinary puzzle. The hologram shifted based on his thoughts and actions. Every move he made was observed, analyzed. He focused, breaking the problem into smaller parts. The puzzle required him to align energy nodes in a pattern that stabilized the room's fluctuating gravity. It was complex, but his engineering knowledge, combined with his calm under pressure, allowed him to see the solution. When he completed the final alignment, the hologram pulsed green and the words "well done" appeared. Immediately the door slid open, revealing a corridor lit by soft floating lights. Alex stepped forward cautiously, ready for whatever came next. At the end of the corridor, Serana awaited. She leaned casually against a crystal pillar, her amber eyes gleaming with amusement. "Impressive, human," she said. Most would have panicked. Most would have failed. Alex kept his gaze steady. "It's just a puzzle." Nothing more, she repeated, stepping closer. "You call this nothing? Every choice, every movement you made revealed more about you than you realize. Courage, patience, ingenuity, and desire," Alex bristled. "I do not entertain games of desire, princess. I serve my people." Serana tilted her head, studying him. "Words are easy. Actions are much harder. Let us see if you remain consistent under pressure." The corridor opened into a vast chamber filled with strange machines and glowing conduits. Holographic projections hovered in midair, displaying scenes of battles, star systems, and alien fleets. But there was more. A small device hovered before him, emitting a soft hum. "This," Serana said, "is the trial of conviction. You may take what you desire most, but to do so you must abandon your mission. Choose wisely, human." Alex frowned. He could sense the trap. Whatever the device offered, it was designed to test his loyalty. He could not be tempted, not even by thoughts of comfort, safety, or power. His mind was clear. The rebellion, his team, and the countless humans depending on him came first. "I do not wish for anything this device can give," Alex said firmly. Serana's smile deepened, a mixture of admiration and challenge. Bold, stubborn, clever, but most importantly, human. It is rare to see such clarity. Many would falter. Many would take what they desire and lose themselves in the process. Alex's eyes narrowed. "I am not most. I am a captain of my people. That is my desire. To protect them no matter the cost." Serana's amber eyes softened briefly. "Perhaps that is what makes you interesting. You do not seek glory. You do not seek power. You seek purpose." Suddenly the hum of the device changed. Holographic images shifted, now showing scenes from Alex's past. His family, friends, and moments from battles he had fought. Each scene was designed to stir emotions, to weaken his resolve, but he forced himself to focus. He would not be distracted, not now, not ever. "You see, human," Serana said softly, "temptation comes in many forms. Desire is not always obvious. Sometimes it is memory, emotion, or the promise of security. Can you resist all of it?" Alex took a deep breath. "I have no choice. I must resist. My mission is my purpose, and my loyalty cannot be swayed." Serana stepped closer, tilting her head. "Good, very good. But loyalty is not enough. Intelligence, creativity, and courage all must work together. Let us see how you handle the next test." With a wave of her hand, the chamber transformed. The floor shifted beneath him, revealing a holographic battlefield. He was suddenly standing among human soldiers facing an overwhelming alien force. Serana's voice echoed through the chamber. "You are in command. Victory depends on your strategy. Fail and your people perish. Remember, your choices matter." Alex's mind raced. The holographic simulation was incredibly detailed. Enemy units moved with alarming precision and the terrain was treacherous. Yet he remained calm. He issued commands to the human soldiers, using tactics he had learned through years of experience. He anticipated enemy movements, set traps, and led a counterattack that forced the holographic aliens to retreat. The simulation ended, and the chamber returned to normal. Serana watched him intently. "Remarkable. Not only did you resist temptation, but you also demonstrated leadership and strategy under pressure. You truly are extraordinary." Alex remained wary. "This is not a compliment. It is a test. I still do not know your intentions. Ah, she said, her smile teasing. But intention is part of the test. And perhaps, understanding intention is part of understanding desire. You see, human, I am not merely testing your loyalty. I am testing the heart that guides it. Will you bend under challenge or will you remain true to yourself? Alex met her gaze steadily. I will remain true, no matter the challenge, no matter the test. Serana's expression shifted, a mixture of respect and amusement. She circled him slowly, her eyes analyzing every reaction. And yet, you feel tension, do you not? You are aware of my gaze, of my words, of my presence. There is a part of you, curious, even intrigued. Alex clenched his fists, trying to ignore the subtle pull of her words. Curiosity is not betrayal, he said firmly. I am aware. I am focused. I am loyal. Good, Serana said softly. Very good. But remember, human, loyalty is not only about resisting temptation. It is about knowing yourself, and that is the hardest test of all. The room shifted again, this time into a calm, peaceful garden. Strange alien plants glowed softly, and streams of water shimmered under an ethereal light. The contrast with the previous battles was stark. Serana stood beside him, her tone gentle. Here you may rest, she said, or reflect. Many humans fail this test because they cannot control their own thoughts. The mind can betray the heart as easily as the heart can betray loyalty. Alex observed the garden, noting the care and detail in every plant, every stone, every beam of light. He realized that Serana's tests were not only physical or mental, they were emotional. She was probing every aspect of his being, seeking to understand what truly motivated him. He sat on a stone bench, taking a deep breath. I do not fear your tests, princess. I will pass them all. My people. My mission. That is my focus. Serana watched him quietly, her expression unreadable. After a moment, she spoke again, her voice softer, but still laced with teasing. Perhaps. But the final test, the one that will reveal the truth, has not yet come. And when it does, human, you may find that loyalty is challenged in ways you never imagined. Alex stood ready for whatever came next. He had survived puzzles, simulations, and emotional trials. He had resisted temptation and proven his courage, ingenuity, and leadership. But he knew Serana's final test would be unlike any other. It would test the very core of his being. Whatever comes, he said, his voice firm. I will not falter. I will not betray my people. And I will not be swayed by words, appearances, or clever tricks. Serana's amber eyes glimmered and she tilted her head, studying him. We shall see, Alex, we shall see. Outside the chamber, the war raged on, but inside, a different kind of battle continued. A battle of mind, heart, and loyalty. And Alex knew that passing Serana's tests would require everything he had. Strength, courage, and a clarity of purpose that few humans ever achieved. And somewhere, deep within the alien princess's gaze, Alex sensed that the line between challenge and respect was shifting. The teasing, the tests, the tension, they were no longer just tools of manipulation. They were a recognition of his character, his unwavering loyalty, and the fire that made him human. But the ultimate test still awaited, and Alex would be ready. Days passed in the crystal halls of the Althari Palace, and Alex felt a strange rhythm to his captivity. He was no longer simply a prisoner. He had become a participant in a challenge unlike any battlefield he had ever faced. Each morning brought a new test, a new situation carefully designed by Princess Serana to probe his mind, his loyalty, and the depths of his resolve. This morning, the chamber transformed once again, this time into a replica of his home planet's rebel headquarters. Every detail was painstakingly accurate. The worn maps on the walls, the tables filled with supplies, even the familiar hum of communications equipment. Alex immediately recognized the psychological intent. Serana wanted him to feel a pull toward his past, to awaken longing for home and perhaps to see how he might falter. Good morning, human, Serana's voice echoed, smooth and melodic. She appeared on the opposite side of the room, her figure framed by the soft light of the simulation. Today's test is subtle. Observe your reactions carefully. Sometimes the greatest challenge is knowing where loyalty truly lies. Alex studied the room. Every detail was designed to evoke memory and emotion. He saw holographic images of his team, Kara repairing equipment, Rel practicing his aim, and other rebels moving efficiently through their operations. His heart ached with longing. The temptation to reach out, to intervene in some way, tugged at him. But he knew the images were illusions, tests, not reality. He took a deep breath, centering himself. "I will not falter," he whispered. "They are not here. My people need me, but I cannot act through illusions." Serana stepped closer, her amber eyes fixed on him. But that is only part of the trial, Alex. The other part is choice." She gestured toward a small device that had appeared on a table. "This contains information. Enough to secure your people's victory, without further risk to you. All you must do is submit a single order, here, in this simulation. One word, one decision, and you gain power, safety, and influence." Alex frowned. "And what happens if I refuse?" "You remain loyal," she said softly, "but your journey becomes infinitely harder. Perhaps even impossible. Sometimes the road to honor is the road of sacrifice." Alex's mind raced. The choice was obvious in principle. Submit and gain immediate advantage, but at what cost? His people depended on his integrity as much as his leadership. Compromise now could destroy not only his mission but his own sense of self. He approached the device, studying it carefully. Its glow seemed almost alive, pulsing in tune with his heartbeat. He could feel the temptation pressing against his resolve. He imagined the rebellion succeeding effortlessly if he made a single concession, and yet every fiber of his being told him to resist. "No," he said finally. "I will not be tempted. I will earn victory, not take it through shortcuts." Serana's lips curved in approval. "Good. Very good. Loyalty is proven not when it is easy, but when it is hardest." She stepped closer, so close that Alex could feel her presence without touching. "And yet," she whispered, her tone teasing, "there are other ways to test you. Knowledge alone does not reveal the heart. Courage alone does not define loyalty. Sometimes, desire is the final measure." Alex's brow furrowed. "I do not understand." "You will," she said softly, tilting her head. "Follow me." The chamber shifted again, transporting them to a panoramic view of the Althari Empire's command center. Massive starships floated in orbit, and holographic battle maps displayed fleets and supply lines. Alex's training and experience immediately recognized weaknesses and strategies that could turn the tide of conflict. He realized that the information before him was invaluable, more than he could have imagined. Victory for his people could be within reach if he seized it, but Serana's presence reminded him that there was a catch. He could access this knowledge only by agreeing to become an agent within the Empire, feeding her intelligence and subtly bending his mission to her whims. It was a test unlike any other. His loyalty would be measured not by courage or skill but by choice. Alex turned to her. "If I take this, I would have to betray the rebellion." "Only in part," she said softly, studying him. "In part, yes. But perhaps that is the question. What does loyalty mean when the stakes are higher than you imagined? What does loyalty mean when every choice carries consequence?" He clenched his fists. He had always believed loyalty was simple. Protect your people, follow your mission, never falter. But now, faced with knowledge that could save thousands, he realized the truth was more complicated. Choices had weight. Consequences were not always clear. And sometimes, the heart and the mind might speak in different voices. Alex paced, his mind spinning with scenarios. He imagined using the information to secure rebel victory, while secretly serving Serana's empire. But the thought made him uneasy. The cost to his conscience, the potential for manipulation, and the risk of becoming a tool for the Althari were far too high. He could not allow it. "I will find another way," he said firmly. "I will not compromise my loyalty for knowledge or safety." Serana studied him closely, her expression unreadable. Then, to Alex's surprise, she laughed softly, a sound that carried both amusement and admiration. "Clever human, brave human, loyal human. You truly are remarkable. And yet," she stepped even closer, her amber eyes locking with his, "you are aware, are you not, that desire does not always take the form of immediate temptation? That longing, curiosity, even admiration, can test loyalty in ways we do not anticipate." Alex met her gaze steadily. "I am aware, and I will not falter. I have chosen my path." "Good," she said softly, "because the final challenge is not about strength, strategy, or intellect. It is about decision. When everything you have fought for is within reach, when safety is close, when desire calls to you, what will you choose?" For a long moment silence filled the chamber. The stars outside shimmered, and the view of the Empire below seemed almost serene, yet Alex knew the tension was immense. Every instinct in his body screamed to seize the advantage. Every lesson, every memory, every ounce of his training told him to resist. And still, the weight of choice pressed upon him. Serana stepped back, giving him space. Consider this. You could walk away from the rebellion, live in comfort and power, and perhaps even earn respect among the Althari. Or you could remain loyal, fight harder, and risk everything. The galaxy watches, human. Choose wisely. Alex took a deep breath. His mind raced through strategies, consequences, and possibilities. He thought of Kara repairing equipment, Rel practicing his aim, and the countless humans relying on him. He remembered the battles fought, the friends lost, and the principles that had guided him through everything. "I will not betray my people," he said finally, his voice steady. "I will find another way. Knowledge taken through compromise is worthless. Victory earned through loyalty is real." Serana's amber eyes gleamed with admiration. She approached him, placing a hand lightly on the crystal railing beside him. "Remarkable, human. You have passed the hardest tests, and yet, there is always more to learn. Loyalty, courage, intelligence. These are traits of greatness, but greatness is not born of convenience. It is forged in struggle, in choice, and in restraint." Alex met her gaze, understanding the weight of her words. She had tested him in every way imaginable, mind, heart, and spirit. And through it all, he had remained steadfast. The princess smiled, a mixture of mischief and respect. "You are rare among your kind, Alex. Few could resist the trials I have set. Few could remain true to their principles under such pressure. Perhaps humanity is stronger than I anticipated." Alex allowed himself a small nod, a gesture of acknowledgement and respect. He did not fully trust her motives, but he recognized her skill and insight. And he knew that the next steps, whatever they might be, would require the same clarity, courage, and loyalty he had demonstrated so far. As the chamber shifted back to its original state, Alex felt a quiet determination settle within him. He had resisted temptation, navigated psychological trials, and proven his leadership and intellect. And though Serana's teasing, challenges, and unspoken tests had pushed him to his limits, he had not faltered. "Prepare yourself," Serana said softly, her eyes lingering on him. "The next stage of our journey will reveal even more, and you may discover that the greatest battles are not fought in space but within the choices we make." Alex straightened, his resolve unwavering. "I am ready for whatever comes. My loyalty, my purpose, my people, they guide me. Nothing else will." Serana smiled faintly, a mixture of amusement and respect. "We shall see, human. We shall see." And as Alex prepared for the trials ahead, he understood one truth more clearly than ever. The real test of loyalty was not in surviving the battlefield, not in defeating enemies, and not even in resisting desire. The real test was in choosing the right path when every option carried risk, consequence, and temptation, and Alex was determined to choose wisely. The day had come. Alex knew it would, though he had hoped for more time to prepare. The Althari Empire had launched a massive offensive across multiple sectors, and the rebellion was on the brink of collapse. His knowledge of the enemy's tactics and weaknesses, gathered carefully during his captivity, was now more vital than ever. But the ultimate challenge awaited, one that would test not just his courage or loyalty, but the very essence of his character. Princess Serana appeared in the chamber where Alex had been trained, her expression unreadable. Her amber eyes, however, carried something new: respect. "Today, human, the final trial begins," she said. "You will face the culmination of every test, every temptation, and every challenge I have placed before you. The galaxy watches. Choose wisely." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle upon him like armor. "I am ready," he said firmly. "Whatever the trial, I will remain loyal to my people." The chamber transformed once more, this time into a massive command hub. Holographic images of fleets, battlefields, and communication channels filled the space. In the center hovered a device glowing faintly that represented the Althari Empire's core command network. Accessing it would give Alex unimaginable power over the Empire's forces. But the cost was clear. To use it, he would need to cooperate fully with Serana, bending to her will and betraying the rebellion's immediate plans. Alex studied the device carefully, calculating every possible outcome. He could seize control, perhaps ending the war in one bold move. But would victory still be victory if it required compromise of his principles? The answer was clear in his mind. No. True victory must be earned, not taken through submission or temptation. Serana stepped closer, her voice soft but teasing. You could end the war today, human. All I ask is a word, a choice. Imagine the glory, the power. Even your people could be spared the cost of battle. Alex's jaw tightened. I will not take shortcuts. I will not betray my people's trust. Victory will come through strategy, courage, and loyalty, not through surrendering to temptation. She studied him for a long moment, then nodded slowly. Remarkable. Your resolve is as strong as I hoped. Very well. Let us see if your plan can succeed without compromise. With a wave of her hand, Serana projected a holographic map of the battlefield. Alex quickly analyzed the positions of the Althari forces and the rebel positions. He noted supply routes, communication networks, and potential weaknesses. Unlike the simulations, this was real. The outcome of his strategy could change thousands of lives. Here is your chance, Alex, Serana said, her tone measured. You can act freely. The information is yours. But remember, the choices you make now will define the war, and perhaps the future of human and Althari relations. Alex's mind raced. He formulated a plan, combining guerrilla tactics with bold maneuvers to exploit the weaknesses he had observed. He would lead the rebellion in a coordinated strike that would neutralize the Althari's advantage while keeping his forces protected. And he would do it without compromising his loyalty. He turned to Serana. I will use this information, but only to guide my people. I will not serve your empire. I will not betray them. A faint smile appeared on her lips. I suspected as much. Few could resist the final temptation. You are extraordinary, human. The battle began. Alex, now back with his rebel forces, directed every move with precision. Using the knowledge he had gained, he predicted Althari movements, set ambushes, and orchestrated attacks that cut off supply lines and communication networks. His team followed his commands flawlessly, inspired by his clarity and courage. Kara repaired damaged vehicles and weapons mid-battle, while Rel provided cover fire with deadly accuracy. Together they executed Alex's plan, striking hard and fast. The Althari forces were caught off guard, their advanced technology and superior numbers unable to match the coordination and ingenuity of the human rebels. Above the battlefield, Serana watched, her expression a mixture of amazement and respect. They are strong, she murmured. Not just in numbers or weapons, but in spirit. The human captain has proven what I suspected. Loyalty and courage are as powerful as any technology. Despite the chaos, Alex remained focused. He moved among his troops, providing direction, encouragement, and quick decisions that turned the tide of battle. The Althari, though formidable, began to falter under the coordinated human strikes. Supply lines were cut, reinforcements delayed, and morale crumbled. As the final phase approached, Alex saw the opportunity to strike at the heart of the enemy command. He led a small elite team, including Kara and Rel, to infiltrate the main Althari control center. Using the knowledge gained during his captivity, they bypassed defenses and reached the central hub. Alex interfaced with the control system, redirecting enemy forces and disabling critical systems. The Althari generals were stunned as their fleets faltered, their plans collapsing under the unexpected efficiency of human tactics. Victory was within reach, earned through strategy, courage, and the loyalty of every soldier fighting alongside him. When the dust settled, the battlefield was silent except for the hum of damaged machinery and the cheers of victorious human forces. Alex stood among his team, exhausted but triumphant. The rebellion had won a decisive victory, not through shortcuts, not through betrayal, but through the qualities that made them human: ingenuity, courage, and unwavering loyalty. Serana appeared beside him in a flash of light. You did it, Alex, not through compromise, not through temptation, but through your own choices. Your people are safe, your rebellion stronger than ever. You have proven the truest measure of loyalty and courage. Alex looked at her, a mixture of relief and respect in his eyes. It was not easy. You challenged me in ways I never imagined, but I held to what mattered most. My people, my mission, my principles. Serana nodded. And for that you have earned my respect. Most humans would have faltered, would have taken the easy path, but you chose the hard road, and in doing so, proved the strength of your kind." Alex studied her for a moment, realizing that the teasing, the tests, and the subtle provocations had all been part of a larger lesson. Serana had not simply tested his loyalty, she had revealed it, forced him to see the depth of his own character, and given him the chance to prove that humanity was more than just survival. It was ingenuity, courage, and moral strength. "You will not interfere with my people again," Alex said calmly, "and I will not seek to harm your empire, provided you respect the lives and freedom of those who fought for them." Serana smiled faintly, a mixture of amusement and approval. "Agreed, human. You have shown wisdom beyond your years, courage beyond measure, and loyalty that cannot be broken. Perhaps this is the beginning of something new. A chance for humans and Althari to see each other not as enemies but as beings capable of respect and understanding." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. He had survived the tests, led his people to victory, and earned the respect of an alien princess whose intelligence and cunning had rivaled his own. Yet, more importantly, he had remained true to himself and his mission. "Thank you," he said quietly, not just for her respect but for the challenge that had forced him to grow stronger, wiser, and more resolute. Serana's amber eyes softened. "Perhaps, human, one day you will teach others what I have learned, that courage, loyalty, and the heart of a human are forces to be reckoned with." Alex turned to his team, who had fought bravely alongside him. Kara smiled, her eyes shining with pride, while Rel clapped him on the shoulder. Together they had achieved the impossible, not through shortcuts, not through manipulation, but through the enduring qualities that defined humanity. The war was far from over, but the rebellion had gained a decisive advantage. And Alex, the rebel captain who had faced the most subtle and dangerous challenges of all, knew that as long as humans stayed true to their principles, no force in the galaxy could break them. As he left the battlefield, Serana's words echoed in his mind. Loyalty is not only tested in battle, but in every choice we make, every temptation we resist, and every moment we decide to stay true to what matters most. And Alex had passed every test.